The XF 70-300 that's shooting us now on the T5, as you can read, seems to be doing a decent job. It's not necessarily for this kind of shot, but that's that test done. Now, this lens isn't necessarily for me, but as an XF lens, it is top quality and could be the right lens for you. I mean, we had a 55-200, is it? 50-230, both quality lenses. Then you've got the 100-400, and yeah, so around this sort of realm, that's what we've been looking at. This could well be the answer to all those three lenses. Maybe not the 100-400. I think that's for a different type of folk. But yeah, enough waffle. There will be more waffle. Let's look at it up close and get some random test samples on the go. And then it will be over to you as always. Yeah, let's crack on. Well, there she is then in all her average hand size glory. Not too bad. It's a nice feeling lens. Now, of course, the zoom is not internal, but the rings are nice. The manual focus ring is okay. It's kind of loose, but it's fine. Not that relevant for me. The zoom ring itself, though, is good with good purchase, and you do have a lock on this side, which you can unlock just by turning. But let's see if it will lock in other positions. No. Let's see if it will lock at the furthest. No. So it's just for when you're at 70. So the full frame equivalent 107 to 457 mil in full frame language. So that's 22.9 degrees to 5.4 degrees. Very flexible zoom range. There are 9 diaphragm blades, of course, 17 elements in 12 groups. So a lot of glass in there. You do have this nice clicked unmarked aperture ring because it's f4 at, let's just call it the widest of the telly range, 70, and then, you know, it quickly gets to f5.6 as a starting point, and then to f22. Closest focus distancing 83 centimeters, maximum magnification 0.33 times. Yeah, it does have OIS. Not sure how I feel about how that's working with the T5 with this particular copy. Weather resistance, fine. Filter size of 67 mil. We've got a protective filter on there, which just needs a little bit of a clean. We'll sort that in just a moment. And it weighs 580 grams. The lens is pretty much the usual Fujifilm quality, albeit mostly plastic. Honestly, it's leaning slightly closer to the XC range on that front. In the real world, it's simple, easy to use, light enough to be comfortable with the smaller bodies like the T5 I've been using it on, and it accepts the teleconverters, though of course you're already limited to good light as it is. Now, if you're wanting to use a tripod, I recommend you get a nodal rail slide, something like that. I'll put it on the screen. That way you can get the camera back, and the awkward balance problem that you get with this lens not having its own tripod foot is basically sorted out. Let us know if you try it and how you get on, of course. When it comes to autofocus, I'm grateful for the limiter switch, and the T5, you know, allowed the lens to perform pretty well in general, including with the subject detection. Stabilization isn't bad either. I do think that autofocus and the OIS could be tweaked further in firmware, but it performs well as it stands. Sharpness is pretty good throughout the range. In the center wide open it's very good, but you need to be around f5-6, 8 to see the best. Color rendering, Fujifilm's usual, very good to excellent. Performance and contrast, also excellent. Chromatic aberration is minimal. There is a small amount of barrel distortion, but anything like that is well looked after in the lens corrections. Ghosting and flaring, not an issue. Bokeh is fine considering the limits of the lens. Watch out for out of focus specular highlights. Onion rings and cat's eyes might not be the look for you, but that wasn't such a big deal for me for the kind of shots I used it for. But it might be something to watch out for if you're planning to shoot portraits with those nice pretty lights in the background and that sort of stuff. There's nothing really with this range and feature set available for Fujifilm shooters, so we won't talk about how it compares. For £749, it could be a good choice, a fun lens if you've got decent light, shooting out and about wildlife, nature scenes, landscapes and some sport. I know we weren't going to compare, but let me just say it's much easier to carry around than the more expensive, faster, better 100 to 400, which makes it more appealing to a wider range of shooters. Have you got this lens? I know it's been a popular one already, so let us know how you got on with it or get on with it in the comment section, and I'll see you next week.